Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of Michael, and today we're going to be talking about...
Today we'll be making one of my favorite soups.
Welcome to the
Tomato
JR72 Challenge.
I am Animated Mel, and I am your mental and wellness coach for
As always, perfection is not needed, but consistency
We must
is
first lovingly accept what is. You can't heal a body you hate.
We're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive. I don't think anybody in my circle understands impossible. Good day, everyone. Let me know you can hear me, see me. Everything is cool with the audio and the visual. I got a nice little pop-up live stream for y'all today. What up, what up? Give me the thumbs up. Let me know we can rock out. Today, we are going to be talking about rolling fast. What is a rolling fast? Right now, we have the R72 in full effect. We're about 2 weeks in at this point. And I want to make sure people understand the benefit. I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of, information about what's going on. Just what we're experiencing, what I'm experiencing. Okay. Alaska's in the building. What up? One of my friends is from Alaska. Well, he's not from Alaska, but he was stationed in Alaska. Spent a lot of time out there. I'll take some questions today as well. So if you guys have questions, you could throw them in the chat. I'll do my best to gather those up. I will be answering any super chats. So that way we can be a little more efficient. So today I wanted to go over what a rolling fast is. I wanted to talk about the benefits of it and, just give you guys an opportunity to learn. If you're not already familiar, if you haven't been doing rolling fast, it'll give you an opportunity to learn about them. And then also, just give you some details on how you can really be efficient with your rolling fast, because, we're doing the rolling fast right now. We've got the R72, and that's our group challenge. For those who don't know, it started May 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And one thing that I did differently this challenge is I decided to join the challenge, which I typically do not join the fasting challenges. Like, I just don't personally fast with you guys because I have my own fasting schedule and we do challenges all the time. It would be difficult if I was, if I was just fasting every challenge. But I wanted to let you guys know with the R72, it is a 3-day rolling fast. So what that means is you're going to fast for 3 days. You're going to take a break. So you're going to have a refeed day. With our particular protocol, we do one refeed day. It's one, you can do one meal that day, or you could do 2 meals that day. But we always recommend that at least one of the 2 meals is raw, or for optimal results, you guys are going to want to do one raw meal, and then you're going to go right back into your fast. Okay. And it is a very powerful schedule. I was actually just browsing YouTube and I ran across a lady who used a rolling cycle to lose, she said, half her weight, half her body weight. I don't know how much she weighed. I don't think I listened long enough. She didn't say it right then. She just said half her weight over half her weight, which is not a number. So I don't know how much she lost, but let's just assume she was 300 pounds, so she lost 150 pounds. I know I just came up with that, but she ain't give me no numbers to go off of. So she at least lost 100 pounds, because if she was 200 pounds, she didn't lose half her body weight and go down to 100. So she was at least 200. But she used that to lose, let's say, 100, 150 pounds. And I know a lot of you all are out there. You've been kind of up and down with your weight loss journey. You can use you could use a rolling schedule to just completely knock out the weight. There's benefits of the R72 or a rolling fast that people don't think about. Like, for example, right now I'm doing the fast with you guys, right? It's also my sister's birthday. My sister's birthday is on Monday. Now, it just so happens that my eat day coincides with her birthday, which means I get the opportunity to celebrate with her if I choose, right? If we're going to go eat or something, which we actually planned on doing. We were going to go to a vegan restaurant, but the hours are crazy. It's just not going to work out. But one of the benefits of a rolling cycle is you do get to eat on a regular basis. You're eating once every 3 days. And this is actually very different from our 5-2 schedule, where you're going to fast for 5 days, eat for 2 days, because your eating days are spread out, versus with the 5-2, your eating days are back to back. Everything has its benefit. Everything has its place. So you guys are going to have to figure out what makes the most sense for you. But rolling cycles are extremely beneficial for many different reasons. So if you're looking to lose 30 pounds over the course of a month and you want to use the rolling cycle, we always recommend your prep first, which is what we do with our challenges. We do our prep first. And then I'm also going to recommend that you do 1 meal a day on your eat days. And I'm going to recommend that you do raw food. If you do that, that's going to help increase your chances of actually hitting that 30 pounds in 30-day goal. That's going to be a fairly sustainable mark. So if you just decide, you know what, Chris, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to just do rolling fast for the next 90 days. Over the course of that 90 days, you're not necessarily going to lose 90 pounds, but you're going to lose very close. You might lose 80 or 85 pounds, because the weight loss does decrease with time, right? But imagine being able to knock out almost 100 pounds in 90 days and with a fairly moderate fasting schedule. Like, you're not, when we do our challenge, the first week leading up to the first 3-day fast, I will say the first week, so we'll say the prep week plus the first 3-day fast, that's the most challenging part of the entire process. It is that first, 10 days. Your first 10 days is the most challenging part. If you can commit and you can give yourself 10 days and you can stay, locked in, it really does get much easier after that. And then, of course, as your body really gets acclimatized to the R72 and what you're doing, then it sounds like a long time to do it for 90 days, but you really can do it. Now, are you going to have your struggles? Sure. There's going to be your ups, there's going to be the downs. There's going to be things that are going to come up. Your schedule's not going to perfectly align with your eating schedule. You're going to make mistakes. But if you can lock your mindset into, okay, I'm going to do this over 90 days. And when I make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm going to make progress. Then you're going to be successful. Also, it's important to understand when you do a rolling cycle, like, if you're going to watch the scale, which is fine, you want to make sure that you're not beating yourself up if the scale doesn't move every day. A rolling cycle the scale's going to move differently than with a regular, like a pure water fast. So to help mitigate that, you want to make sure that you're taping yourself. As long as you're getting your inches, you'll see progress, and that'll help keep you motivated. But for me personally, that's not a problem. Because obviously I'm not really, at this point, I'm not worried about my weight. As a matter of fact, if anything, I'm worried about losing too much weight at this point. Back in 2019, I did a 30-day fast. It was a hybrid fast, and I did dry fasting in there. I lost a ton of weight, and I got very, very thin. And since then, whenever I do long-term fast, I've always said, okay, I'm gonna do the fast. My plan is 20 days, whatever. But if I lose too much weight, I'm gonna stop. So I have my own set of rules and goals, as you guys should have as well. Like, as you're going through this process, learning about fasting, documenting how your body responds, you should actually be coming up with your own regimens. Obviously, we're going to create a guideline, a blueprint for you, but you guys want to be, like experiencing this yourself and making adjustments based on where you are and what you need. But if you guys want to be able to knock out, nearly 100 pounds in 90 days, you could do this with the rolling cycle. You just have to be consistent. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, and this is why I like to refresh myself, do these challenges, and just keep myself fresh, is when you eat on your refeed day, if you don't do the raw food, right? Like, because we talk, hey, do the raw food. Okay, cool. A lot of people aren't going to do the raw food. You could do cooked food, but if you're going to do, like, if you're going to do pasta, if you're going to have bread, if you're going to have, starch potatoes, things like that, like if you're going to have certain foods, it may not move. Your bowels may not move properly. Okay. So what you want to make sure to do is have something to support you, so that if you aren't going to eat the raw food, or maybe you just have a day where you just don't want the raw food, you don't have the time, whatever the case may be, you want to have some type of tool to support you so you can make sure to have a good bowel movement, so that you're not holding on to that waste as you're going into your fast. And you could do a couple different things. You could do a colonic, you could do an enema, you could do castor oil, you could do a castor pack. I actually just had this happen during my fast, which is why it's so fresh. I decided to use Restore. Okay, Restore is by the Root Wellness brand. So I did 2 sachets of the Restore, and that moved my bowels. That acts as a laxative amongst many, many other things. You could do a saltwater flush, and prune juice. There's all kinds of other things. Obviously, when you're doing a water fast, you want to try to stay away from consuming food. Prune juice, apple juice, those things help get people going. So oftentimes, there's a conflict of interest. Your body will thank you, and it'll be great, but sometimes people want to do the pure stuff. So, just different options are available to help move those bowels. So if you go into after your refeed day, you go into your next fast with a fresh system, you don't got all that extra fecal matter in there, then you'll kind of start to see what you want to see on the scale. But even if you don't, you got to remember your body's probably still shrinking and tightening. So you want to tape yourself, because you're probably still seeing benefit, Now, I've been having a very interesting experience on my fast. And obviously, for those who are in the challenge, you guys have been getting my updates regularly throughout this process. I decided to go ahead and share this with you guys who aren't in the challenge, because this is absolutely different. Okay, I've done a lot of fasting. I've been fasting for years, and one of the things that I experience all the time is a dull. It's like, I would say it's a dull. It's a dull organ pain. We could say it's in my stomach, but it's this dull sensation that I experience on my fast after a certain amount of days of fasting. It's just there. I experience it. It's regular. If you guys watched my fasting experience from not this previous December, but 2 Decembers ago, where I talk about my fasting experience, I tell you guys about that dull sensation that I experience. And the thing about it is, it's dull, but it's constant. It never goes away. And it makes my fast very difficult. And on that particular fast, it was intense, more intense than normal. But I experience it all the time. Well, this fast has been different. This fast, I experienced that dull sensation on my first round. So we did our prep week, okay? And then we did our first 3 days of fasting. And probably day 2 of the fast, I started to experience that dull sensation, and it lasted until I broke my fast. And that's typical. But now that we're on our second round of fasting, I haven't experienced it at all. Like, at all. It has not happened at all. And if you guys are familiar, I told you before I went into this challenge, I said, I'm going to test one new product. Well, I'm going to test a new product. And I mentioned to you guys it was Sculpt from the Root Wellness brand. I'm going to be testing Sculpt. It is their new weight loss product. And I'm going to see if it's beneficial for our fasting. I do believe that it's beneficial for weight loss in general. Root usually is, their products are usually spot on. Whatever they say they're going to do, they do it. So I wasn't like, it's not going to work. I just wanted to see how it would integrate into our fasting. Well, my brother Steven started using it, and he said after about 5 days, his hunger went away. He just had no appetite. And then people in the group who were doing the challenge started getting theirs, and they're like, after day one, no appetite. I mean, people were so surprised by their lack of appetite. They're like, I don't actually know what's going on. I'm not hungry at all. I was still feeling appetite, okay? But my appetite don't really be ravenous. It's just there. It's just there. And it's more of a mental thing for me. But I was taking it. It took about 10 days for it to kick in for me. Steve said 5 days. I heard someone say 6 days. I heard someone say first day. So what we're understanding is the supplement kicks in different times for different people. But it has kicked in for me. And when I tell you that I don't have that dull sensation in my pain, in my stomach at all, it's non-existent. When I tell you my energy levels, I mean, this is day 3 of our fast. We're breaking our fast tomorrow, Monday. When I tell you my energy is higher than it's ever been on a 3-day fast, when I tell you I've been working all morning and my energy is still high, when I tell you I was up last night because, like, I already am a night owl. And then when I fast, I get the fasted energy. And then, of course, like, just because of family and everything I got going on, I haven't had a lot of time to put towards working. So I'm up at night, I'm working. And that's when the hunger starts to set in, like, typically with my fast. And when I'm telling you guys, like, I'm not having any of this, I'm just sitting here like, yo, Sculpt is working. Like, Sculpt is working. And yes, it is not cheap. Okay. I'm telling y'all right now, Sculpt's not cheap. I'm putting a link in the chat. Sculpt is not cheap. However, it works. So if you guys have been struggling with your fasting, now you need to have your mind set that you're going to, take the supplement, you're going to reduce your eating, or you're going to start fasting. Because if you're going to just keep eating the way you're eating, it's not going to work, right? But what I'm going to tell you guys is, once it kicks in, you don't want to eat. You don't need to eat. Like, usually when I do my fast, as I approach my refeed, I'm ready to eat. It doesn't matter if it's a 3-day fast or a 10-day fast. Usually when my mind, I know I'm a fast for X amount of days, I'm approaching my refeed. Usually I'm ready to eat. Now, there's been times when I don't be ready to eat. I don't need to feel like there's been times when that's happened throughout, but typically I'm ready. Right now, it's one of the first times in recent history where I'm like, I can keep going. Now, I tell you guys, don't do that, especially with the R72, especially if you're in the challenge. Even though you feel like you could keep going, don't, because you want to start building a better relationship with food. So it's important that you perform your refeed. However, I'm just telling you where my mind is right now. I'm like, I don't need to eat. So I got to coach myself. I'm like, look, you need to eat. You need to do your refeed. But I'm like, bro, just keep on fasting. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. So I'm blown away so far by the results that I'm getting with Sculpt. And I really was looking for something because we still have not got our appetite suppressant tea in. And the appetite suppressant tea is amazing, right? We got rave reviews from that. It's much more cost efficient. So I understand that that's still something that we need to do. But for the time being, you guys got this other option that's great, and it's not just an appetite suppressant like our tea. It also helps you to lose weight, so it's a dual purpose thing. And then I'll say too, if you guys decide, I put the link in there. If you decide to grab some, what you want to do is set up a what's called the Root Prime account, which is like it's free, but it basically puts your subscription. It's a subscription, so you have it's like an auto ship thing. If you put it on auto ship, it'll save you like $30. So that's a massive deal, a massive discount that you can get. Just put it on auto ship. You'll save a ton of money. And then I think before you finish your first bottle, you'll see the benefits and you'll understand. You'll want to be using it. All right. So that's just what I'm experiencing with Sculpt. But in general, as I'm going through this process and I'm doing this fast, I'm touching base with the process again, and I'm like, man, it really makes a big difference whether you do your refeed with raw food versus cooked, and not just cooked, but if you're going to eat like starchy foods, breads, things of that nature, that really does make a difference. So if you guys have been attempting the rolling or any of your rolling fast, it doesn't matter if it's a R72 or R48 or a DR96 or whatever it is that you guys are doing. If you're doing a rolling cycle and you aren't paying attention to those small details, like when you start eating, it is going to impact your overall result. Like, you just got to know that. Like, you're not going to lose as much weight, or you're going to hold on to your weight, your waist. You're not going to eliminate properly. So these things can affect your results, which can affect your motivation, which can hinder whether or not you continue. So it's a small thing, but it's an important thing. Okay. Can you do the R72 with watermelon? Can you do it? Yeah, you can. The R72 is just a rolling 72-hour fast. The type of fast that you perform during that time is your choice. So if you guys use watermelon, just understand that your weight loss, you're going to lose less weight. When you start combining, this is a good question. When you start combining different fasting strategies, your weight loss can decrease, because with a watermelon fast, you're first of all, you're only fasting for 3 days already. So that's already a short fast. So you're already seeing less weight loss on these shorter fasts. Then on top of that, you're fasting with the watermelon. That's going to decrease your weight loss. Okay. And then on top of that, because you're doing a rolling fast, you're saying the R72, that means you're going to have an eat day. And on your eat day, I'm assuming you're not going to do just watermelon. You're going to have other food, probably something cooked or whatever the case may be. And that's going to decrease your weight loss. Now, let's put the weight loss to the side. Are you going to slim and trim? Yes. Are you going to hydrate? Yes. Are you going to improve elimination? Yes. Is this going to be very sustainable? More sustainable than a water fast, right? Most people struggle with water fasting because of the detox symptoms and stuff. You're going to mitigate detox symptoms. You're going to mitigate like all of the mental stressors because you get to eat. It's going to be more sustainable. So what I say is, if you're going to do something like an R72 with watermelon, you already know that 30-day window of time needs to be tripled. Yeah, like you need to triple. If whatever amount of time you're planning to do it, you need to triple it. And then that will give you the weight loss as well. But you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to be healthier, much healthier. You're not going to lose weight as quickly, but that's okay. It depends on what your goal is. It depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to improve your health, you could use this. It's going to be incredible for you to improve your health. If your goal is fastest weight loss possible, I would probably steer away from a 3-day watermelon fast rolling cycle. It's not going to be the best option for fast weight loss. Now, you can combine your R72 watermelon deal with other fasting methods that will help to increase the weight loss. But now we're getting very complicated. You know what I mean? And that's not, I would rather you guys really rock with a coach or something like that to work that out. But there are other methods where you can combine a fasting method and you can get more out of it. You can navigate that and get more weight loss. But I know a lot of people are really looking for the weight loss. So that's why I've been harping on the weight loss. I'm attempting 1,000-hour fast 42 days. I'm 6'2", 280 pounds. If I successfully hit it, how much do you think I'd lose? 40-day fast. If you're talking about a water fast, straight water fast for 42 days, you're going to lose about 40 pounds. We should do the enema after we eat. Yes. Yeah, because assuming that you did the prep and you're kind of going through the process properly, you've likely you don't have anything in your body. If you do it beforehand, you don't have anything in your system. Now, you could do it before and after. It's not going to hurt, right? Like as you fast, the body does break down stuff that's been stuck and lodged in your system, and you could do the flush, no big deal. But yeah, this is for after you eat, probably like that first day after you eat. So you do your fast, you do your refeed, and then the next day you do your enema or your colonic or whatever. You know what I mean? And then that'll remove any food in your system from your eat day that you haven't already got rid of. Okay. So yeah, we can have fun with these fasting methods. This is one of the things that I've been talking to you guys about. Like if you just look at the history of the channel, when I bring people on that are doing different fasting methods, one of the reasons I highlight other people's fasting methods is because I want you all to think about like, what can I do? There's some really fun fasting methods out there that I think you guys will benefit from. And you think, okay, I got to just do the water straight for X amount of days to get the results you want. No, that's not true. A lot of people will do a 90-day juice fast. They'll do that. It's not something that I would necessarily recommend. Hold on now. Camera just went out of. Yeah. It's not necessarily something I would recommend if you're looking to lose like the most amount of weight quickly. But if your goal is just to improve your health, you could do the 90-day juice. And I mean, that's going to improve your health. You're still going to lose the weight. You're going to lose about 1 pound a day, but it's going to happen over a longer period of time. But it's also more sustainable. And it gives your body time. Like, for example, one of the things somebody said in the chat for the R72, they were like, my taste buds, like I'm trying to eat some of the old stuff that I, used to love, and my body's rejecting it. My taste buds are rejecting it. Like I taste chemicals in the food. And it's just like, your body is just sensitive now, whereas before your body was desensitized. It couldn't taste the chemicals. The chemicals were always in there. And when we say chemicals, we're talking about synthetic chemicals. We're talking about artificial chemicals. Like artificial flavorings and things of that nature. Like you could taste, okay, it used to taste good and now it tastes like artificial. It's like, something's wrong. That texture's not right. The taste is, there's an aftertaste. I experienced that, as I started going through my fasting journey. I experienced that. I tell this story, and it's the most prominent story I have. The Hostess cupcakes. When I was a teenager, I used to eat them things all the time. I used to eat that along with the Little Debbie snack cakes. That was my thing. I used to eat those all the time. So then I start this process of fasting. I'm losing the weight. And now over a period of, a month or two, I'm not really eating any junk. So I'm in the gas station, just getting some gas or whatever. I'm in the gas station looking around. I see a Little Debbie snack cake. I'm like, I haven't had one of those in a very long time. Let's just grab one. You know what I'm saying? Little treat. That's what we call it, right? Little treat. And I think I threw the other cupcake away. It was so nasty. Like it just tastes like chemicals. It was oily, it was plastic, it was so nasty. It wasn't enjoyable. It was not enjoyable. And that is a benefit. That's a benefit because now you're tasting and experiencing food for the first time like as it is. You're like, oh, this isn't real food. Ugh, I don't want to eat this. And then what it does is it helps promote maybe making a real cupcake or just staying away from those types of foods. When it comes to processed foods, like you're more prone to want to stay away from it because it's trifling now, because it don't taste good. And see, we eat for taste. But what people don't realize is, yes, we eat for taste, but if we can adjust our taste, if we could tweak our taste buds, what we think tastes good will change. And if what we think tastes good changes, we are more apt to eat the thing that we think tastes good. And when you fast, your taste buds tend to tweak towards eating healthy, especially when you do it over long durations of time. So doing the juice fasting for 90 days might help you in that area, right? We always think about the here and the now. We want to lose 50 pounds right now. But it's like you could just do it over the course of this next year. It doesn't have to be right now. And how do you approach that? Well, you approach it by eating mindfully. Use the fasting techniques that you are aware of. Find something that is very sustainable for you. Slowly get away from the processed foods. Incorporate into your fasting method raw food and things of that nature, and allow your taste buds to adjust. Pay attention to your bowel movements. Pay attention to your bodies, the aches, the pains, the inflammation. Pay attention to all the benefits you're gaining from doing the right things, and it will naturally deter you from doing the wrong things. Then, as you naturally become deterred from the processed foods, it's easy to make that switch at the end of the year and be like, you know what? I'm just going to switch to whole food, plant-based. Or I'm going to switch to whole food, period, which would include your meat. Or I'm going to switch to whatever, pescatarian or whatever it is you want to do. Like, I'm just going to stop eating candy. I'm going to stop eating junk food. You know what I mean? Because, like, all we got to do is get off the standard American diet or the standard whatever diet, wherever you live. If you can get off of the standard diet for the area that you live in and go to a whole food diet or, you know, a just slightly better diet, you'll start to see benefits. And then that benefit can create like motivate. It's like a snowball effect, right? So it gets easier. It gets easier with time. This is good. My refeeds are 4 hours with about a gallon of water and keto food. Well, I wouldn't drink a gallon of water in 4 hours. That's too much water too quickly. But if you're doing the gallon of water over the course of the day and then you're doing your refeed within 4 hours, that's excellent. Some of us need that extra structure, right? Because we allow our eating to get out of hand. So some of us need that extra structure. Oh, here's a cool testimonial. I'm on round 6 of my DR72, down 20 pounds. Yeah, I bet you that's working out well for you, that DR72. I bet you that's working out real well. That's a nice little protocol right there. I need to lose 20 pounds. 20 pounds is light work. I don't know how long you've been following the channel. I don't know if you know what your situation is, but 20 pounds is light work. There's many different ways you could lose 20 pounds very quickly, but here's the problem. Because I don't want to just throw out an option for you to drop 20 pounds quick. It's got to be sustainable. You got to sustain it. So as we've been talking, I've been talking about like stretching the fast out, but making them more sustainable. That's really the way you want to go versus just dropping the 20 pounds real quick. Unless you have incredible mental fortitude, which typically people with really incredible mental fortitude, they don't get into the position where they're overweight or dealing with that anyway. So If you've got great mental fortitude, yeah, you could drop 20 pounds real quick. You could use a dry fast. A dry fast will knock 20 pounds off in less than a week. It's easy. But then how do you refeed? How do you come off the dry fast? How do you maintain that weight loss? So I'm not going to tell you just dry fast and then knock the 20 pounds out, because you could do that. But then like sustainability comes in question, you know? And then so also depending on your history of fasting, sometimes people get addicted to the therapy and they say, okay, cool. I'm up 20 pounds 1 week, I can knock it off, and then boom, I can go back to my old habits. And so then it becomes a thing where I'm eating pizza, French fries, all this other stuff. I'm up 20 pounds, boom, I dry fast, I knock it back down. Now you're abusing the therapy. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to sustain your weight, but you're not going to increase the quality of your life or your longevity. So you're going to lose all the other benefits of fasting. Like when you abuse fasting, you lose all the other benefits. Yes, you might maintain your weight, and yes, you might maintain like your numbers. So you're going to look healthy, but organ failure is still going to come for you later in your life like everybody else. So I mean, that's a choice people can make, you know what I mean? But I guess I would say, look, man, the R72 is a great tool. I would do the R72 and I would do the raw food, man. Like literally don't mess with no other, just eat the raw food. Make your menu. Let's say you're going to do the R72 for a month. That means you're going to be eating like, I don't know, what, 6 or 8 times throughout that process. No, it's not 6 or 8 times. It's 4. I'm tripping. It's like 4 or 5 times you're going to eat, right? Depending on the month or whatever. So just come up with the menu, 5, 6, just plan for 6 meals and just do raw. And you'll be at your goal before the end of the month. Would taking magnesium citrate also be a good choice to help with elimination after the refeed? Would it be a good choice? A good choice. That's it's a choice. It's an option. You could do it. I don't think it's a good choice. Okay, that's just me. Magnesium citrate is not everybody's friend. It's not the friend that you think it is. It's a synthetic laxative. I don't like them. Is it cheap? Is it quick? Is it fast? Is it dirty? Is it going to get the job done? Yeah, but I don't like it. I never have. People were using magnesium citrate years ago, and then they had some kind of recall for it, the liquid magnesium citrate. I don't like it, y'all. I don't like it. Where you source your tools, like things that are going to help you, it matters. I tell you guys where I like. I tell you exactly where I like. I like Root. Okay, I like Root. That's like the only company when it comes to like supplements. We've been with them for like 4 years. We know their products. We've been using their products. They're a trusted brand. And then doTERRA for the essential oils, right? These are the brands that we use. We trust. It's very few. We don't have a lot, and it's not for a lack of people trying. People reach out to me on a weekly basis, offering me products and services and things to offer to you guys. I turn them down. People offer me money. They offer me free product. They offer me all kinds of stuff, and they're just doing their job. I'm not saying they're bad people, but what I'm saying is I turn it down. Like I'm gonna vet them. And if it doesn't work, there was a company that reached out. They wanted me to use their sunscreen. And it's actually probably a pretty good option for sunscreen, to be honest with you. But also, I have a hard time saying, hey, guys, use this sunscreen when I know the sun is good for you. Like, why would you want to screen yourself from the sun? Like, the sun is good for you. We need more sunlight. We don't get enough sunlight. The media and the doctors and stuff, they demonize the sun, but the sun is good for you. So it's like, it's hard for me to promote it, even though it'd be a great alternative to traditional sunscreen, which is cancer causing, by the way. And that would have been a great partnership there, right? But I just, So when I promote a brand, when I promote a product, best believe like it works. This is the question. This is the question everybody wants to know. What do you recommend to lose weight fast? I mean, look, the fastest way to lose weight is probably dry fasting. But do you understand dry fasting? Do you know how to perform it properly? Do you know how to break your dry fast? Dry fasting makes your body extremely sensitive. If you do not know how to dry fast, don't dry fast. Don't just start dry fasting just because you heard somebody say it, just because you think it's the fastest way to lose weight. It will backfire on you. I'm telling y'all. That's why I didn't even talk about dry fasting. I didn't even want y'all to know about dry fasting for years because I'm like, y'all aren't ready. Right? We're having problems getting people to do a proper refeed after their water fast. The last thing I want to do is have y'all out here dry fasting. So I do got some videos on dry fasting now. Eventually, I did start talking about dry fasting, but dry fasting is the fastest way to lose weight. Now, obviously, there's probably like some faster ways you could use like drugs and things like that. But as far as like healthy ways that are going to benefit you and not have any negative side effects, assuming that you refeed properly, dry fasting is going to probably be the number one way. Oh, look, that's what about them cupcakes. Yeah, they taste waxy now. Not only that, they also taste nasty. fast for do like a 21-day fast and then go eat a Hostess cupcake. I'm not telling y'all to do it, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to do that, you'd see, like, your taste buds get a chance to reset. It's nasty. Also, if you guys remember, like, some of you guys are actively fasting. When you fast, you get that detox tongue. That detox tongue is all the toxicity, chemicals, and stuff being pushed out through the tongue, right? That's resetting your taste buds. So we hate it. Some people call it keto tongue. We hate it. It makes your mouth taste nasty, but it resets your taste buds so you can taste things again. And now you can make better decisions. Will Epsom salt flush help prior to a rolling fast, like a tablespoon every morning for 3 days? So, Epsom salt is a great laxative option. It's nasty. So we understand that it's nasty, but we actually do. Sometimes we'll suggest that you guys use Epsom salt to flush the system before you fast. So yeah, that's actually part of one of our guides. We usually do, I think it's 4 tablespoons of Epsom salt and 24 ounces of water, I think is what it is. And then you take that twice. You take 6 ounces twice a day until it's finished. So it takes you 2 days to finish it. Hit the like button for me, y'all. If you're enjoying this live stream, if you guys are getting benefit out of it, hit the like button for me. Share this out. Today I'm just having a unique day. I'm feeling good. My day threes. Look, usually I'm conserving energy. If I was doing I still do the live stream, but my energy would be more, calm. I'd be here, you know what I mean? Not talking, not, using too much energy. But I have energy in spades today. When I tell you, I feel like this is day one of the fast, like meaning I just ate yesterday and I'm basically not even fasting yet. Like I'm basically not in ketosis yet. When I tell you I feel absolutely normal today, it's insane. And once again, it's akin to the Goldilocks zone I used to tell y'all about back in the day. Like, yeah, man, I'm in the Goldilocks zone right now. I just feel good. That's how I feel today. And I have never felt this on day three. Never have I felt this on day three of a fast. I don't know what else to tell you. It's got to be sculpt. It's the only thing I'm doing right now because there was another product or tool I wanted to test, but I didn't want to conflate the two things. I wanted to have a clean test. So I decided to just do sculpt. And then next time I'll probably just do this other thing I'm testing. And then maybe I'll combine them and do them both. But the way I'm feeling now, what was the source of the dull pains you experienced while fasting? I'm having the same pains on the R72. Also, it's combined with nausea. So I never get the nausea, which I'm grateful for. What is the source of it? It's a detox symptom. It's the body, it's the body doing something. I can't. I've never looked deep enough into it to be able to tell you exactly why it happens to me. It's just one of those things I accepted and I just kept rolling with it. At some point in the future, the not so near future, I'm going to be able to test everything. Like I'm going to research more in depth. That's years down the line when I have the monetary resources to do that. So I can't tell you exactly what it is, but no matter what I've done, I've never been able to get rid of it. And I think it's just one of them things because everybody doesn't experience it. It's certain people. Um, it's funny. Yesterday, I was thinking, man, dang, this must be what it's like for what like most people to fast. Like the way I feel, I was thinking yesterday. The way I felt yesterday, I was like, this must be how it is for most people. Because this crazy dull, this sensation, it's like in my stomach. Like if you experience it for a little while, it's not that big of a deal. But when it's constant throughout the entire fast, whether it's 3 days or 10 days, it becomes excruciating. And when I talk to my brothers and everybody else, they're like, they don't get that. So everybody's a little different. And y'all got a lot of questions today. Let's see. Could you talk more about the hybrid dry fast and water fasting? Okay, so first I'm going to tell you, I have a video where I talk about hybrid fasting. It might be titled hybrid fasting. So should be easy to find. Just put in the healthy alternative, hybrid fasting. But with hybrid fasting, I'm just going to do a kind of a brief overview because that video is available. But like if you're going to incorporate dry fasting, what you want to do is you want to think about like how you want to approach it, especially if you've done dry fasting before and you kind of know your upper limits and boundaries and how you feel. You can basically say, all right, once a week throughout I'm gonna be fasting for a whole week, right? So maybe 3 days out of the week, I'm gonna dry fast. And then you need to look at how do you need to support yourself going into that dry fast and coming out of the dry fast. Well, if you're going to use water and dry, it's pretty simple. You're going to start with as long as you prep first, okay, as long as you do a proper preparation, we have a prep guide available on our website. Go to ahealthyalternative.org, sign up for our newsletter. You'll get the prep guide. As long as you do the prep first, it's a 7-day prep. You do the prep first. You can roll into your dry fast after the prep, and that will probably be the optimal way to start it. But do the prep first, okay? If you guys do it different, I'm not going to be held accountable. Do the prep first. You can, and then you can start with your dry fast first. You could do your 3 days of dry, and then you're going to break your 3 days of dry with water. Now, the key to breaking your dry fast is sipping water slowly. You don't just go into, so you do your 3 days of dry, and then on day 4, you just drink a gallon of water. No. You do your 3 days of dry, and then on day 4, you sip water slowly. There's no goal for how much water you should drink. You're just going to sip water. Here's a sip, okay? That's a sip, okay? It's just quick, boom. You're going to hit it, and you're going to do that throughout the day. You're going to wake up your esophagus. You're going to wake up your digestive system. You're going to get your body used to drinking water again. And then on day 5, you can start hitting your water a little bit more, right? And you can cap your week with the dry. Now, what I will say is you're going to do your dry, you're going to do your water. Do your water until you start feeling like those hunger pangs. You know what I'm saying? Like the hunger pangs are usually going to be associated, believe it or not, with you digesting water. So once you start feeling your hunger pangs, then go back into dry. because then that'll usually kill the hunger pangs. So you can kind of play with that. You're going to do your 7-day prep. You're going to do your dry, let's just say 3 days. You're going to have 1 day where you're sipping water. You're not drinking a gallon. You just sip, sip, sip. And then after that, you're going to do your full-blown water fast. So you're going to get your gallon. And then you're going to do that until you start feeling your hunger pangs. And then you're going to go back to your dry. And that's how, you could do water and dry together. And that's going to be super effective. You're going to lose a lot of weight. You're going to detox heavy. You're going to get a lot of good results from that. That is a very powerful technique right there. But you need to be ready. You need to understand it. And then you also need to know how to come out of that. Because when you come out of that, you're doing the dry, you're doing the water, you're doing the dry, you're doing the water. When you come out and you're going to start eating, you need to know how to refeed. So make sure you know how to refeed. Can you explain what are the benefits of R72? So, weight loss is moderate, but that's a benefit. It's a benefit. You're going to get good, moderate weight loss. It'll be fairly consistent. You're probably looking at about a pound a day on average with your R72, depending on what you eat. You can increase that or you can decrease that depending on what you eat on your eat days. Number 2, sustainable. It's far more sustainable than pure water fasting for long durations of time because you get to eat, virtually you're eating twice a week. You're eating, it kind of works out that way. You're eating twice a week. Less detox symptoms. So you're not going to detox as heavy for as long. However, because you're fasting for at least 3 days, you're going to get the benefit of autophagy. You're going to get the benefit of skin reduction, loose skin reduction. You're going to get the benefit of human growth hormone. So if you're into exercise and working out, you're going to get the benefit of the mental clarity without like the intense fasting, brain fog, and stuff that can happen. You're going to lower blood pressure. You're going to lower cholesterol. Like you're going to get the benefits of balancing your pressures and all your numbers and all that stuff. You are going to get the benefit of disease reversal. If you are a type 2 diabetic, you do this for 30 days, it's very likely you won't be anymore. Or you might be very close to like a pre-diabetic stage. Like you will improve your A1C. Like you're going to improve that condition greatly over the period of 30 days. And that goes along with many other diseases. It's not just that. Like if you have chronic inflammation, things of that nature, you're going to see great improvement with the R72. These are some of the benefits. There's more, but you're going to pretty much see the same benefits you would get from long-term fasting, but they're going to happen more moderately, but it's going to be more sustainable. Why do people say if you don't use sunscreen when in the sun, it will cause cancer? It's called propaganda. It's called propaganda. That's why. There's pseudoscience. That's also why. There is a small subset of people who the sun is toxic for. And I'm not going to get into the weeds of that. But there's a small subset of people who the sun is toxic for. It just so happens that small subset of people tend to be in not the individuals, but the people that are in control, like the people that create the power structure that the world utilizes. They tend to be those people. The sun's not good for them. But for the mass majority of people, the sun is very healthy. It's a very beneficial thing. And most of us are just deprived. So what happens is if you're used to living in our modern day cave, which is a house, a car, a building, you're not outside, you're not exposed to the sun. The sun will detox you. So you're living in the cave, you're not exposed to sunlight, you're eating toxic foods. The sun will detox you. It's the same thing the sun does to water. When you put water outside in a clear glass jar, any organic, inorganic substances in the water are going to be broken down and neutralized by the sun. That's the reason why you don't put water outside in a plastic bottle, because the sun's going to break down that inorganic material, i.e. the plastic bottle, and those chemicals will leach into your water. The sun will do that to you as well. It'll break down the inorganic materials. That's the reason why when you put sunscreen on, it actually causes cancer, because the cancer-causing agents in the sunscreen will any binding that happens between these chemicals, the sun will break that down and it'll just leach into your skin. And so it's not safe for a small subset of people, but for the mass majority of us, it's fine. The sun is fine and actually healthy. It's beneficial. What do I mean when I say dry fasting makes your body sensitive? It means that when you come off of a fast, your body is sensitive to what you eat, what you drink, your overall consumption. As a matter of fact, when I was dry fasting, my body was sensitive to shower water, the toxins in the shower water. I could not take a shower for more than, a few minutes because I could feel it stinging my body. That's what I mean. I mean, your actual senses are heightened. Taste, touch, smell, all of that stuff. Also, your response to adulterated substances. So when you eat that Hostess cupcake, like, whereas before you could eat 3 or 4 of them, you're fine. You might eat it after a dry fast and throw up. Like, you're sensitive. Does that make sense? And your body is going to respond more violently to things you were able to do before. Like, with no response, your body will respond violently sometimes. That means throwing up, nausea, like, or it could be like an infection or whatever. Your body is sensitive. When we put toxic things in our system and our body is sensitive, meaning it doesn't have its defense mechanism up because you've been dry fasting and it lowered its defense mechanism, and then you go and eat something that's toxic, you can make yourself really ill. That's why refeed is the most important part of the fasting process. If you improperly refeed, not only can you undo all the benefits you got, you can actually create problems for yourself. So that's what I mean by sensitive. Does celery juice work as well as Epsom salt? I don't think so. I can't say 100%, but I don't think so. I've never tried celery juice like that, but no, I don't think so. Not for a flush. Welcome to the channel, Grace. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you ever use hydrogen tablets while fasting? I heard it helps get the water out of your body quicker. I did. I've done everything. I've tested everything. Hydrogen water was an interesting experience. The tablets, I don't think I got as prominent of an experience or reaction as I did from actually purchasing a machine that generates hydrogen water. I considered promoting them to you guys a long time ago, but then, like, the particular manufacturer I was getting them from, I just didn't have confidence in the product. I had issues with mine, like, it was beneficial, but then, like, the product kept breaking and I just had issues and I didn't feel comfortable like promoting it to you guys. But I think hydrogen water can be beneficial for sure, just in general. I've been giving you guys advice for this all day. If you just joined and you asked this, I would say go back and watch the beginning. Maybe you're missing it. Like, look, I know people have hey, Chris, what do I need to do to get over the hump? Everything I've been talking about today has been giving you guys advice for how to get over your hump, how to be more successful. I started off talking about Sculpt. Look, if you just want a cheat code, right now, Sculpt is the cheat code. Okay? Because the way I feel, I'm like, Sculpt is a cheat. This is cheating. I wish I had this. Sculpt is in the description box. It's in the chat. It's a cheat. It might take 5-10 days to kick in, but it's a cheat. What's another cheat, or what's another way to get over the hump? Alter your fasting schedule. Alter how you approach it. Don't just do straight water fasting, right? We talked about the watermelon fast. We talked about, hybrid fasting. We talked about juice fasting. Don't think, oh, I just got to fast straight pure water. That's the only way to do it. Maybe your goal is maybe you could accomplish your goal over 6 months instead of 1 or 2. And by doing that, you could use a more sustainable fasting method. What I think about fasting with sardines, um, I used to make a joke. I could create a fasting method for anything. Like you could fast and lose weight on Oreos. So I mean, you could do it with sardines, but I know they're very salty. How you source them was going to matter, and eating all that sodium is going to be counterproductive. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't eat sardines. I don't eat meat anymore. But I don't know. Maybe you have to test it and let us know. Intermittent fasting, is that healthy? Oh, heck yeah. I intermittent fast. All right, so there's levels to fasting. Typically, we talk about like the more intense levels because people want to see results. They want to, feel something. I would say the intermittent fasting, and this is why I don't talk about it as much, it is a more moderate fasting schedule. It is going to help you maintain better than it's going to help you progress. I'm not saying that you cannot progress with intermittent fasting. That's not what I'm saying. But for most people who are not really engaged in fasting the way they need to be, intermittent fasting doesn't work long term because you have to combine intermittent fasting with a very strict eating window, and you need to be very specific about what you eat during that. If you're strict about your eating window and you eat well during that eating window, you could use intermittent fasting to go to the moon. Like it'll give you any results you want. But most people don't do that. So if you guys want something that's going to be um, great for maintenance after you've already hit your goal, intermittent fasting is great. It allows you a lot of leeway to, do this, that, whatever. But it'll help you maintain. Now, it's not going to help you maintain indefinitely if your eating window gets too stretched out or if your eating gets too crazy. But it's a great tool to adopt after you've reached whatever goal you want to help you maintain. You're still going to have to do your bi-yearly, long-term fast, but it's going to be great. What's better is OMAD. So if you could use OMAD to get your weight loss goals, but let's say you're using like a R72 or 21-day fast to get to your goals, you're going to maintain really well on OMAD. 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day, you're going to be solid. Even if you're not eating well, you have a lot of leeway because you're only eating once a day. You're going to do well. So OMAD is a probably even a better option. All right. So I have some really exciting news coming up here this week. It is something that you guys have been asking for the past probably 3 months, really longer than that, maybe the past 6 months. For those of you who rock with the community, you already know what the announcement's going to be. But for those who don't, keep your ear to the ground. We have some very exciting news coming up this week. So make sure that you guys are a part of our email list. If you're not, you can go over to ahealthyalternative.org, become a part of our email list. If you want to really be locked in, I encourage you guys to join AHA Communities. Okay, AHA Communities is absolutely fire. I'm gonna put the link in the description on the chat right now. Please, if you're not already a part of AHA Communities, come join. You can sign up. It's free. You'll stay in the loop. You guys will, you get a little bit more inside information over there. We have a little bit more freedom of speech over there. It's our platform. I'm really excited to announce this thing. Most of y'all already know what it is, but yeah, I think that's it for tonight, man. Make sure to hit the like button. Matthew is one of the leaders that hosts our pack calls. So if you guys are looking for community support, they do Zoom calls, I believe daily or multiple times throughout the week. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put the wrong information out there, Matt, but yeah, y'all need to be in the AHA community so you can get the accountability, you can get that inside information, you can ask questions, because you think, okay, I got to wait for Chris to go live to ask questions. No, you don't. Come in AHA communities, post your question, ask those people who are right where you are, right? You know, like they're on the same path as you. Ask them what they're doing. How are they seeing improvement? Okay, Matthew said that the calls are daily. I thought they were, but and there's a call live right now. I saw that before I went live. So for those who was on the pack call, catch the replay. Shout out to y'all, man. We also have the premium accountability membership, which is the coaching sessions that are led by the AHA coaches. So we have lots of options for you all, depending on your level of commitment and what you need. You know, look, we're here to help. We appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button, share this out. As always, the application of knowledge is power. Y'all want that cheat code? Grab you a bottle of Sculpt. I'm telling you. And so be looking forward to that announcement later on this week. Peace.